Sorry about that, fellas. My God bless you on this beautiful Sunday, Daisy Gibson. Thank you so much, Daisy. May God bless you too. I feel like there's a small glare in the camera, so let's try to fix that as we're working from a iPhone. Not no special camera, but whatever seems to work seems to work. All right, so it is officially less than 2 hours until kickoff. Let's get some people in here. I hope everybody's having a good day. Ooh, it's very beautiful out here for sure. Very beautiful. The RZB Sports, as always, bringing a pregame report for the people watching outside of Bank of America Stadium here in the beautiful Queen City on a Sunday morning, almost afternoon now, from Bank of America Stadium. And it's going to be a good report. I'm going to get started, and as I get started, that's when people will come and join, obviously, because that's what always happens, and that is always the case for everything that I do. So, yeah, let's get started. All right, let's do this thing. The RZB Sports bringing you the pregame report for the Carolina Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Today, I'm still recovering from being sick, so my voice may seem a little scratchy, but I will give my best pregame report for all the ones watching right now. We have the I-85 matchup, the NFC South divisional matchup, live from Atlanta, Georgia, being played at Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The Carolina Panthers with a 5-5 record, looking to extend it to a 6-5 record. And the Atlanta Falcons are coming off of a loss to one of the best teams in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, as they had a long trip back home from Berlin, Germany, the first ever NFL game in Berlin, Germany. But let's talk about it. The Carolina Panthers are 24-37 all times against the Atlanta Falcons, with their previous win coming from Bank of America Stadium, where the Carolina Panthers got a defensive shutout 30-0 against the Atlanta Falcons earlier this season. And also, just so you know, even though the Carolina Panthers are 24-37 all times, they are also on a 2-game win streak, helping the win column go up for this all-time NFC South rivals record. Bryce Young, the last time he was in Atlanta, oh boy, was he dangerous. Oh boy, was he on fire. Bryce was a thriller from Mercedes-Benz Superdome last time he was in Atlanta, Georgia, where he got a 44-38 victory in overtime to get his first road win of his NFL career. And it was a great game all the way to the end, and we needed it to happen, and Bryce Young came out performing on all cylinders. It was very special. Now let's get into the injury report for the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. First, I'll start off with the Atlanta Falcons. They have 13 players on their report. They're either questionable or they're either rolled out. So I'm not going to say all the players, because some of the players are just practice squad, so it doesn't matter regardless. They're not going to be playing because they're practice squad. They're not on the active roster. But I will give you some key players that I thought of when I looked at this report. Drake London has been limited throughout the week. He has been ruled as questionable for today. That is Michael Penix's big connection outside of Kyle Pitts. Secondly, we have Leonard Floyd, who has been ruled out today for the Atlanta Falcons. And thirdly, we have Malik Verdon, who was supposed to make his debut for the Atlanta Falcons today, but he will have to wait one more week to make his NFL debut not NFL debut, but Falcons debut, as he is on the injury report listed as out. Now, for the Carolina Panthers, we have some key names that we need to pay attention to. It's going to hurt us for today's game, but it's the next man up mentality in this league. Trevin Wallace has been ruled out, the second-year player from the University of Michigan with a concussion. Latham Ransom, the rookie from Ohio State University, has been ruled out. Enrico Dowdle has been ruled as questionable, more than likely expected to play, but it's going to be interesting to see how Dave Canales manages the run game today, with Rico battling a groin injury, with Rico being limited throughout the week. I believe it may be a half day, more so leaning on Chua, because it's like you don't want to put Rico in a situation where he just, fully gets injured and irritates that groin again. And you want the player to be healthy going forward. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he manages the run game. Either way, the Carolina Panthers are dominant in the run game. They have ETN as well, so we cannot forget about the rookie ETN, Trevor ETN. 5 things you must watch from both the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Starting off with the Atlanta Falcons. What are you talking about? Carolina Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons game today. The Atlanta Falcons offensive line, they have been struggling to protect Michael Penix this season, so it's going to be very important to watch their performance. And then third down conversions for the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have found themselves quite a few times, over 100 times in third and long plays, and they are having a hard time solving it, getting a first down. The defensive line pass rush, they need to continue what they did last week against the Colts, where 7 different Atlanta Falcon players got a sack against the number 1 AFC NFL team, the Indianapolis Colts. Is there a game right now? No, not right now, but at 1 p.m. Michael Penix, his consistency throughout the game. Michael has not been consistent at all. Left-handed quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa is also a left-handed quarterback. It is a thing that left-handed quarterbacks struggle in the NFL. Coaching has been also inconsistent. Raheem Morris, you got to step it up. You got to get your staff together. Jeff Ulrich, defensive play caller, he's been pretty solid this year, but there has not been any clear direction for this Atlanta Falcons team, so we must see something special today from the Atlanta Falcons coaching staff. Now, 5 things for the Panthers. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm kind of struggling with doing this report today because my voice is hurting, my throat is hurting. I got a stuffy nose. I'm still trying to recover a little bit. But we got this. Thank you all for joining, and thank you all for watching regardless. I really appreciate it. But the Panthers, 5 things to watch is, how does Bryce Young bounce back? Bryce Young has only had 1 game with 200 passing yards. 1 game with 200 passing yards this season with a 5-5 record. Bryce Young has to step up today. He has to do his job today. The Panthers have been solid at the run game, but they have been struggling with the passing game. Bryce is not a bad quarterback. I don't want to hear it from any of the fans, but Bryce, you must do your job today. Get some passing yards. Get the passing game going. I don't know if it's the play calling, or I don't know if it's because Bryce Young is too afraid to throw it downfield. No checkdowns. Throw it downfield. Take the risk. Take the sacrifices. Let's go. He's getting it out quick. He's making solid reads, but he needs to get it downfield. Big plays today. I want to see big connections. Cannot emphasize that enough. Bryce Young, get the passing game going. Bounce back. The second one that you must watch is this Carolina Panthers team must stop the Penix and Drake London connection. With Drake London being a limited participant in practice this week, it may not be as pretty today on the field for Penix and London. And J.C. Horn is a top NFL cornerback. I don't care what anybody says. J.C. Horn has been doing his job this year. J.C. Horn did his job here when they got the 30-0 shutout against Drake London. So I expect to see big things from J.C. Horn too. Also, still shout out to J.C. Horn for repping my jacket, man. All the way in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's go. Thirdly, slowing down the Falcons' pass rush. I emphasized it, and I will do it again. This Atlanta Falcons pass rush is no joke. They had 7 different sacks from 7 different players against the number 1 AFC NFL team, maybe the number 1 NFL team. Because I believe the Colts have one of the tightest groups as an offensive line in the NFL. I've seen the Colts play this year. Well, preseason from Baltimore, but I've seen how the offensive line carries each other, unites together, teaches each other, points out things to each other, walks together. This offensive line is a family for the Indianapolis Colts, and I believe they're one of the best offensive linemen who just had a crappy week and let the Atlanta Falcons get 7 different sacks from 7 different players. Javon Walker from Salisbury, North Carolina, went crazy. Played for the Salisbury Hornets, went crazy for the Atlanta Falcons. Big plays, but they still weren't able to win the game because the Atlanta Falcons offense has been struggling. Fourthly, for the Panthers, you must watch the dueling run game between Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, and potentially ETN. The reason I say this today is because, like I said, Rico has been limited in practice. Rico is battling an injury, and Canales wants the best for his run game. He emphasized when he became a head coach for this Carolina Panthers team that he was going to be heavy on the run. In order to be heavy on the run, you got to spread the ball out between your running backs. I mean, you have to. You can't put it all on Rico. That's the bottom line. We cannot forget about what Chuba has done here since he's been drafted to this team. Chuba's good too. Rico's just more explosive. Rico has just had bigger games this year. But since Rico is battling an injury, you have to see how the Panthers will do the running game today. Will call the running game today. Very important to look out for. And then lastly, for the Panthers, really for both teams, I should have said, is which team will handle the mental weight better. The mental weight. I mean, the Carolina Panthers have been so confusing this year, I should say. They beat the number 1 team in the NFL on the NFC side, who only has 1 loss, and then the following week, they lose to a team with 1 win. And my mom was like, "What's going on with the Carolina Panthers?" I said, "Mom, I don't know. They beat the Green Bay Packers, who had 1 loss last week, and I don't know what's happening today." So maybe they're struggling mentally. Maybe that's why they've been confusing this year. I don't know. But the Carolina Panthers, how will their mental game be today? And also for the Atlanta Falcons, how will their mental game be today? Knowing that they just had a flight out to Berlin, Germany, and coming off of a loss all the way back home. So it's going to be interesting to see. But as always, it's an I-85 matchup. The Carolina Panthers are 24-37 all time against the Atlanta Falcons, NFC South divisional rival. But the Carolina Panthers hold a 2-game win streak where they won last year at the end of the season, 44-38 in overtime, where Bryce Young got his first career win on the road. And this season, where the Carolina Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons 30-0. And the Carolina Panthers just look to extend that streak from Mercedes-Benz Stadium today. But that is the RZB Sports bringing his pregame report. And I'm going to just call today the flu game for me, because I'm going to be 100%. I do not feel the best. I'm still struggling. So if you're in here and you want to pray for me too, that would be nice. I said some prayers for myself as well. But I have been having late night sweats, which absolutely sucks. I've been having some nauseous feeling, sore throat, and I just have not been feeling myself. I've been keeping it to myself because I just don't have a lot of energy to explain myself. But yeah, if you want to pray for me and you're in here, I really appreciate that. I try my best giving you the pregame report today. But let's just hope the best for the Carolina Panthers today. The RZB Sports flu game is today. I know I'm not playing, but I am a fan, so I'm going to call this a flu game because they always call it a flu game when a player plays with the illness, and they typically do good. When players play with the illness in the NFL, they typically do good. So maybe the Panthers will do good today since I am a Panthers fan. But as always, the RZB Sports bringing you the report outside of Bank of America Stadium from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Atlanta Falcons, rise up. Carolina Panthers, keep pounding. Thank y'all. Peace.